What's up, everyone? The Street Fighter 6 demo is finally here, which means I finally get to play it. I've been talking a lot about this game, but I haven't been able to play it until now. So, what are my thoughts? So far, this game is really fun. There's only two playable characters, which is Ryu and Luke, but it's still very fun. You know, Ryu is always a great player to start out with. You know, he's got about a lot of basic stuff. Great for beginners. Luke is pretty much the same thing, too. So, it makes sense why these two would be the playable characters. So, looking at it, it looks kind of heavy and slow, but it's actually really not once you get into it. It actually can be very fast-paced, especially when you start learning all the defensive mechanics, like the drive gauge and all the other stuff that it entails. But, it's been really fun. It's a Street Fighter game. It feels way better than Street Fighter 5, I'll say that. It feels like Street Fighter 4, but better. You know, like a bit more smoother. You got a lot more defensive mechanics. It's just really fun. It's really fun. I haven't gotten a ton of time with it, obviously, but so far I'm having a lot of fun with Ryu, who I've mostly been playing. I played a little bit of Luke, but mostly Ryu. I like some of the new moves he's got. He's got that install, and then he's got the sort of like short-range Hadouken blast kind of thing, which gets powered up by that, as well as his Hadoukens, which are really fun. That adds a little bit new tools to his moveset, which is nice. And each character has 3 different supers, as we know. And so you basically have to keep in mind at what level your super gauge is at and what one you want to use. Because each one of them has different commands. So you got to remember which one they all are. It's kind of like in Street Fighter 4 if you chose the double critical art kind of thing, or double super, whatever you want to call it. And you had to remember the combinations for both of them. If you chose both. If you chose one, you got to remember which one you chose. I remember sometimes I would forget which one I chose. I would try to do a Metsu Hadouken, I'm like, oh wait, I'm on Shinsho, and you gotta do the double forward kick instead of punch. So it's a lot to keep up with, but it's cool. I haven't had a lot of chance to mess around with the drive stuff. I've been able to get a few parries and a few counters and stuff like that, but it's still very new to me. I've been using my drive gauge mostly for EXs, because that's what I'm used to. But once I get used to it and all this stuff, I can see that being a very fun mechanic. Because it's nice that we have defensive mechanics, so it's not all just about relentless attack. So I've noticed, aside from throws being really good, the opponent loves to interrupt my stuff with throws. But they are easy dodge. You can backstep or, break them and stuff like that. But the computer, I always get thrown by them. It's just, I'm not used to the CPU walking up and throwing me so much. You get too defensive, that's what they'll do. The CPU is not an idiot in this game. Like, I tried to do a bunch of the parry and countering stuff. They will counter them. You know, if you use it too much, you really gotta actually counter them. You can't just spam it, which is nice. It's good that you can't spam it. At least you probably could on the lower difficulties. And there's a nice critical art version of the Shinsho Ryuken right there. So yeah, there's a lot of defense mechanics, and I have been hit by them. The computer will, if I get too predictable, the computer will punish me for it. It's just nice to see that the CPU will punish you if you start spamming stuff too much. It's a really, really fun game. Like I said, I foresee this being very fun. I can't wait to be playing all the other characters and stuff like that. I have no idea who I'm going to main. I'm going to have to try everybody out because this is definitely different. I think I've had more fun with Ryu than any other game right now, just because of those new tools he has. It's not much, just that install and that Hadouken blast kind of thing, but it's really nice. Perfect KO right there. It does give him a bit more tools to work with, and I like the 3 different supers and stuffs. And of course, the new drive stuff is very good too. But I got a long way to go before I start mastering everything. I'm just kind of playing around with some stuff right now. But I feel like this game is going to be very fun. I cannot wait for June the 2nd. I'm going to be playing the heck out of this game. So what about the World Tour stuff? Well, the demo doesn't really give us anything that we didn't already know. You start out, you make your character, Luke starts training you. You go through the basic stuff. You're actually locked to the simplified controls, which is kind of annoying. I would prefer the classic controls, but you'll be able to change it in the actual game. Even the demo says that. It's just that right now, this is obviously for the newcomers. You're stuck with the new simple controls, but you know, it's fine. So what happens when you go out into the real world? Well, you can go around, you can challenge people to fights by pressing square, or you could just sucker punch them, which is my preferred way of doing it, because why not? You know, knock a little bit of their health off, and it's just really funny to do. So through this little demo, they just show you all the basic stuff, show you that you can buy food, you can buy clothes. There's really not much to buy or anything, pretty much nothing to buy actually. But in the real game, it's gonna be pretty fun. And this is like a full-blown, from everything we've seen, it's like a full-blown fighting game RPG, basically, which is really cool. And I'll tell you what, this is gonna be the standard I'm gonna be judging fighting games by in the future, at least the AAA ones. I'm not saying every fighting game has to have like a world tour mode and a creative character and all that stuff, but it needs to have single player content. That's been something that's been really missing from a lot of fighting games these days. Tekken 8, is coming out one of these days, and I'm really concerned that it won't have as much content because Tekken 7 didn't have a lot of content. That was my biggest pet peeve with that game. And the reason I didn't play it as much as a lot of the other Tekken games because there just wasn't much to do, especially if you're like me who doesn't go online. So I really hope that a lot of fighting games look at this, look at Street Fighter 6's success, because we know it's going to be a huge success. Because look at it. And everyone is super hyped for it. So it's going to do extremely well. And I hope they look at that and say, yeah, this is what you need to do to make a fighting game really popular with not just the core fighting game crowd, but the casuals as well. It's good to cater to both. That's what this game is doing. Everything you could want in a fighting game is basically here. I can't think of too many things that aren't here. We've learned there's going to be team battle along with an arcade. You got this whole big single player thing, which just keeps getting bigger and bigger the more we see of it. It's like there's so many different training options and online options, and they've got those gimmick battles and all that stuff. We already have the first characters of season 1 revealed and everything. Like, are you not entertained? What more could you want? I'm just really excited for this game. I cannot wait for June the 2nd. I'm going to play all the different kind of characters. I'm going to spend who knows how much time in this single-player mode. I might even go online. I don't normally do that, but if I really like this game enough and I really get to learn it and all that stuff, who knows? It just might be fun to do just to see what, is there in the Battle Hub and all that stuff. It just seems really fun. So what are your guys' opinions on it? Are you as hyped as I am? Did you play the demo? And if so, who are you looking forward to playing? I just cannot wait. I have nothing else to say. It's going to be super fun. I'm super hyped. So let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you all next time.